My beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak,
Thing for the week.
for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God.
That's right.
What more do I need to say?
That's right.
What more do I need to say? The first thing I'll just kind of hit on is the first rule in dealing with difficult people is always keep your cool. Always keep your cool. How many people have ever dealt with someone that's difficult? I mean, difficult people before? How many of you have lost it in dealing with difficult people? You lost your cool. I mean, and I've been there. I did this back in middle school, as a matter of fact, and this is probably the one thing that made me more conscious of how I respond to people. In the cafeteria, there were kids that were playing with food, and they hit the food across the table, and I said, look, guys, I said, if that comes on me, I'm coming after you. I'm gonna get you. And so next thing you knew, they slid the little French fry container, and ketchup got all over me. So instead of going off, I didn't yell, I didn't scream. I got up, walked to the cafeteria where you get your food, grabbed the bottle of ketchup, and I said, okay, who did it? So I said, okay, who did it? They pointed to this girl. Her name was Candy. Candy Williams. I see her face right now. She had this long, wavy blonde hair, big eyes. And I walked up to her, got her in her chest, and just squirted that ketchup right in her chest.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did. And she just started crying, bawling right there. She started bawling. Beautiful girl. And of course, the assistant principal came in and we talked, and I was wrong. I was bad wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But I put that word out there, and so I had to back it up, right? You don't just say stuff and then not back it up. I had to back it up. So I was wrong. And that one event in my life helped me to understand how my actions have consequences.
Oh, that's good.
And I saw her. I was out taking Victoria to lunch one afternoon. She worked at Cracker Barrel.
Dang, you ran into her.
And, right, Victoria. I mean, this is maybe 2-3 years ago. Okay, so you're talking 30 plus years. And I ran into her. She remembered me. And I felt so bad. I wanted to just apologize to her right there. I did. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to apologize to her because I was wrong. But after all these years, I still wear that and I still think about it. Yeah. So it helps me now when I'm dealing with people or difficult situations. My first response is to just keep my cool, maintain my coolness. Okay. And second, and to, I guess to expound more on that, is don't take it personal. Nothing that anyone says or does has anything. They don't know you. I mean, and even if they do, they're just speaking out of anger. Then don't take anything personal. Don't wear whatever it is that people are saying. It's not useful for the situation. Don't be offended. If necessary, wait a few moments before responding. I do this all the time. Drives Keisha crazy. Drives her crazy. I don't respond quickly. And she does.
Driving, right?
Unless I'm driving, I will respond. I do quickly. But whenever we're having a discussion, she always wants feedback, comments. No comments, feedback. She says that all the time. But she does it even in here. Any feedback, any comments? And really, I have nothing. I don't. Because my initial response is going to come back as defensive. I'm going to swat back at her. Okay? I'm going to swat back. So a lot of the stuff that she may say or used to say, I think the same thing. It's just that my filter my filter is what's the word? It's I filter a lot more out before it actually gets through. Okay? So I think the same things. I promise you I do. I think things in my head that are very, very ugly. Okay? But it doesn't get through because of my filter.
Yes, that's good.
Okay? So don't think that just because she talks about how great I am, I promise you, I think stuff. But you don't know it because I don't let it get through.
Right.
Okay?
That's good.
And so, and how do you know whether or not you have a good filter? Well, all you gotta do is just look behind you. You see a trail of bodies, you probably don't have a good filter.
Right.
You probably don't have a good filter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got bodies all in your path coming behind you. So
I ain't got that many bodies.
I think a lot of the same things, so I have to work through it. And that's what I do. So whenever we're having discussions, I stop and I pause. And I think about what I'm going to say, because I only want to add something to the conversation that's useful, that's going to move us closer to a solution. I don't want to swap back or say something that's going to inflame her. Okay? And that's with anybody that I deal with. And so, power of the pause. Don't be afraid to just stop and pause for a moment. Just step back. You don't have to respond immediately. You're in control of your tongue. Of your tongue. Just pause. It's okay. Ask yourself what's at stake here. What is at stake? Is it worth me going all in right now? I know I sat in this end seat. I got here early for this end seat.
Yeah.
Okay? Now you come in and you want this seat because you want this seat.
Yeah.
Is it worth getting into a discussion?
Yeah.
Is it what's at stake? Is it something that's not going to really matter?
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself that question, what's at stake? De-escalate. De-escalate means to reduce the intensity
Yes.
of a conflict,
Mm-hmm.
an argument. Reduce it. That means that if someone is yelling at you or screaming at you or hollering, don't give it back to them. This is an area of strength for me because it takes too much energy to yell and scream, and I'd rather use it for something else. Okay? I'd rather use it for something else. And so if someone is yelling at me, I'm going to talk just like this. When I get upset, this is how I look. I mean, really. I've got the same look. When I'm upset, this is how I look. When I'm happy,
Dangerous.
yes. When I'm, exactly. Say that again.
That's
That's
dangerous.
dangerous.
Say that.
When I'm happy, this is how I look. Same look. Why am I that way? Because in number one, it creates stability. So you don't know, you're not trying to figure me out. Well, is he good today? Or yeah, I'm good. You can talk to me. Okay? And then the other thing is if I really need to make a statement, I want you to hear it.
That's good. That's good.
I want you to feel it. I don't want you to brace. You know, if you know someone here to punch you in your gut, you brace. So when they hit you, I don't want you to brace. I want you to get the full impact of what I'm going to say. So, right. And it's like I said, I don't know what I told this. Is, you know, I'm that guy. If I take a lot and I let it bounce off of me. But if it's something never sticks, man, I have helicopters from every news station flying over this city. Breaking news.
Yes.
You hear me? I mean, remember those special reports that used to interrupt the soap opera?
Oh,
you all
man.
mad, that'd be me. Okay?
You better go post them.
Oh, absolutely. So that's me, but I ain't never been there, and I doubt I ever will. I got too much God and Holy Spirit in me. I keep myself filled with that, so I never. But you know, the kind of those people like me have that potential. So just keep that in mind. But I'm always the same. I'm always the same. So when it's de-escalation is natural for me. I don't have to muster it up. I don't have a problem stepping back. Call time out if necessary. That's just pause. Take time out and then wait for the calm. You ever know? You remember when your kids were small, your toddlers, and they get into a fit and they're crying, you know, and you just wait it out.
Yeah.
Remember, you just wait it out,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get to this point where they,
Yeah.
when they do that, now you can talk.
Right.
Now you can talk. When they suck it up,
Very good.
you can talk. They've gotten it out. Now you can talk. Set limits and boundaries as necessary. don't be disrespected in such a way that you're allowing them to just go all in on you. Set your boundaries. You don't have to let people run over you and say all kinds of things. You can stop. You can stop it. You can say, look here, I don't mind you expressing yourself, but here's something you're not going to do.
That's right. That's right.
And
Okay.
I'll make that clear.
Yes.
I don't have any problem doing that. I don't like conflict. Okay, I do not. I'm the guy who likes harmony. I like everybody happy. So I don't go looking for it. Okay, but I'm not afraid to address it if necessary.
That's right.
If that
That's
makes sense.
right.
I'm not afraid to address it. So set your boundaries. Be clear about what you're going to take, how much you're going to take from someone that's having some challenges expressing themselves. Okay, don't be ashamed to do that. God didn't call you to take hits or to spit and whatever people will do or can do to you. You don't have to take that. Set your boundaries. If none of that stuff works, get help. You can't help everybody.
Right.
You know, sometimes you got to call in somebody else to give you a hand.
That's true.
Sometimes you got to do that. I had an issue a few weeks back with the youth, and little skinny kid, and wanted to come at me, and I'm like, dude, I promise you, I know I'm the business administrator here. I will break you in half, call the police myself, fill out the report,
Right.
and fire myself.
Right.
If that's what it comes to. I don't have any issue with dealing with you right now. Okay, so let's make that clear, and then we can deal with whatever you're working through right now.
Right.
Come on now. Eric, still waters run deep.
Oh, they do. Yes, ma'am. They do. That song is true. They do.
Everything that you were doing and saying is pretty much what Jesus did.
Well, thank you for confirmation. Thank you. Like I said, it's
She should get all the energy.
it's natural for me, but it's still growing and developing. Trust me, I'm not arrived. I'm not saying that, not implying that at all. Just saying this my environment, my culture that prepared me for this. You can. So, and these are the words of my wife. She said, "Don't be no fool. Don't be no fool. There is no use arguing with a fool. He only rages and scoffs and tempers flare. A rebel shouts in anger. A wise man holds his tongue, holds his temper in, and cools it."
My son told me one day, he said, Mom, you don't argue with a fool because people that's on the outside looking in don't know which one is the fool.
Well said.
They are.
Well said. Well said. Listen and acknowledge their feelings. This is something, again, let's get back to what we've been talking about all morning. Listening. Listen. Use phrases, use some of these phrases, tell me more. I know things have been difficult. I see how the situation has been frustrating for you. Nowhere do you see, I understand. That's the phrase that you want to try to avoid, as Pam said.
Yeah.
Again, we did not compare notes, we did not script this out. Okay, so that tells you the Holy Spirit is directing this whole morning, this whole training. Acknowledge your feelings whether they are justified or not. Somebody said that already. Whether they're valid or not, acknowledge them. This will help them to feel like they're being heard. People just want to have this say to be heard. Okay? And it says acknowledge their feelings. I know when you're dealing with people like that, you want to have your say. This is not your time to have your say. Okay? This says acknowledge their feelings. Okay? Take time to establish commonality and generate feelings of empathy. Okay? Again, Pam talked about empathy. Okay? Don't judge. I think she also said that. Again, I'm just going, as Ellen said, I'm just going to hit them just to reiterate them, but there's no need to stay there. I think we understand what they mean. Establish and maintain control with facts. This is something that I live by. I don't get caught up in emotions, and my wife will tell you. I don't get caught up in that. I don't get caught up in emotions. I deal with facts. It's just the way I'm wired. So I don't need for you to holler at me or yell at me to give me facts. Just talk to me. just talk to me. But people want to give you this emotion thinking that you're going to respond differently. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't respond differently. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to do anything differently than if you were just talking calmly to me. So save all that and just give me the facts. Okay? Look for the hidden need by asking open-ended questions. Again, I think all this has already been talked about. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Ask questions. Okay? Listen and do not interrupt because you may hear something that was not said.
That's good.
good.
Yes,
That's
that's excellent. That's good.
I think Pam alluded to that as well. Listen because it's not what they're telling you, it's what they're not telling you that you need to listen for. And if you're too busy talking or thinking about how you're going to respond, you're going to miss something.
Yes, true.
Okay? Restate the facts to show understanding. Just give back to them what they've shared with you so you can make sure that you're on the same page where they are. Use active listening. Make eye contact. Come on, how many times have you heard of eye contact today? You've heard it a lot. What is the individual really trying to gain or avoid? There's always more. There's always more to what they're saying. All the time. All the time, there's always more. And then in closing, I told you this is going to be short. So make every effort to end on a positive note. Okay? I know that when you're dealing with people, that you don't want to feel like they've got the upper hand or they've had the upper hand. So you want to sometimes go in or you want to go there. And you can't allow yourself to do that. You have to think about what's at stake. Again, what is it costing? So what price are you willing to pay to feel good?
That's good. Yes. That's good.
What price are you willing to pay just to feel good? Just so you can get your venom out, you can get your words out, you can tell them how you feel, and you can get all up in their face and I'm the wrong one and all this. I mean, right.
Right.
That didn't even look right. You can't even do that right. How much? What price are you willing to pay just so you can feel good?
You is so wrong.
So you can feel good. And to that point, I sidetracked for a moment. I did yell one time. The family was in the truck, and man, the kids were acting crazy, and I mean, we going at it. I can't. Just one of those days, okay? And I got mad. Well, we on a trip.
We're on a trip.
We on a trip. I got mad and I yelled.
Yeah.
And the truck stopped. Everybody stopped for like 2 seconds. And then everybody busted out laughing. Everybody busted out laughing. And I was serious. I was not playing. I was very serious. Okay? Do you know how I felt? And it was at that point I realized, after I got over my emotions, I realized, man, that ain't working. Yeah, that won't do that.
It won't need words to
Check
be
that
your
off.
feelings.
Right. Check that off. It didn't work. They didn't respond because that's not what I do.
Yeah.
That's not what I do. So, again, I thought I'd throw that in there. Conclude any encounter and meeting with a concrete plan moving forward. Anytime you leave out of a conflict, if possible, at all possible, try to leave on a positive note. Okay? Focus only on the actions necessary to better yourself in the situation. Focusing only will create a sense of personal accomplishment to produce positive emotion, which will produce positive emotions, reduce stress. In other words, if you give every effort to de-escalate, to listen, to end on a positive note, you will feel good about it. I mean, you'll kind of pat yourself on the back and you'll be like, you know, I exhibited Christ in the situation. I didn't go in, I didn't allow them to take me out of character. I stay true to what God's called me to do, and you'll feel good, okay? And again, it reduces stress. And And after having these types of encounters, it's always a good idea to take a walk. Step away, go take a walk, do whatever. Just go and remove yourself from the situation for a moment just to regenerate. Okay? And in closing, last thing I'll close with, I don't know if this one was used, but do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Okay? Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. Okay? The only thing that needs to come out is what's necessary and needs what's necessary for building them up. Okay? And again, I told you I'm done. It's short. This was